Fellas, we did it. We made it to the end of 2023. At least I assume so, because I'm recording this in November, and apparently Winter Blessed is the last patch of the year, at least last patch of new skins. So we have all the skins released this year, and now it's that time. I know we skipped out on it in 2021. We went back and cycled back to do 2022 this year at least, but now we're gonna look at the best, worst, and most missed potential skins of 2023. And actually, this was difficult to narrow down, not for the reason you think, because in terms of like a lot of champions did not get skins this year. I think like a good like 5th or 4th of the roster did not get a skin this year. Plenty of champions got 2 and even 3, which kind of sucks. But the quality of skins this year and the innovations and new skin lines, I think we can all agree were really good. There are a lot of brand new skin thematics this year, and pretty much all of them landed. That's really exciting. I like that Riot's finally trying to do more unique stuff instead of just recycling Project and High Noon and Star Guardian all over again. Like, at least we're getting some new stuff. So with that praise out of the way, as usual in this series, I guess it is now, we start with the worst skins. And it was a bit hard to pick worst skins this time, mostly because I said a lot of the skins were really nice. There was a lot of decent skins. There weren't a lot of skins this year that were just flat out atrocious, and especially because a lot of the skins that were on the weaker side were usually in the same skin line, and that's kind of a rule that I've set for myself. Besides honorable mentions, all skins on this list are going to be from different thematics. You're not going to see like all of the cosmic paladins or that kind of stuff. So let's start us off. Honorable mention number 1, and that goes to none other than Nightbringer Jarvan 4. Yeah. Yikes. Blech. Boring. You know what this is? This is just, hey, Nightbringer Yasuo, can I copy your skin? Sure. Just make sure to change it up enough so it don't look like you copied it. And then they didn't. And then you just copied it. And then this does just look like Nightbringer Yasuo with a little bit more bulky armor from a different angle. Like, there's just nothing to differentiate it. And it doesn't even look good in game. Nightbringer and Dawnbringer is just so, it's so tired of a thematic. I think they've exhausted all creative ideas with this thing. It's just edgy for the sake of edgy with no substance to me. They're boring. On the topic of boring, another skin line came back this year, and this skin isn't bad per se, but like Cafe Cutie Jinx is like, so you put her in a maid dress and then you called it a day. Out of all the Cafe Cutie skins, I think it's just bland, you know? I think they really could have taken the opportunity to take Cafe Cuties in a wildly new direction, or really take some champions that would really challenge the thematic of the, you know, the skin's thematic, but it's just, well, we took a champion, put it in a maid dress. Okay, there's people who like that. There's an audience for it. Doesn't keep it from being kind of bland. So, and she looks like Jury as well. I guess that's kind of funny, like, because they're both crazy, so I guess that works. So, last honorable mention is one I know you guys are going to bring up multiple times, because really, it's not a bad skin. It looks cool, has good animations. However, we can all agree Soul Fighter Samira is not worth the ultimate price, and this was a flat out scam. This was a legendary skin they added a couple extra things to and bumped it up to an ultimate skin price. It's still a nice skin. If it were a legendary, this would be fantastic. But the fact that they charge an ultimate skin price for something that is clearly not ultimate skin level, like even Gun Goddess Misfortune, which has only 4 forms compared to all the other forms more recent ultimate skins have, they bumped the price down. They didn't do that for Samira, so I'm really disappointed that they did this, because having 2 legendaries would have been fine on its own. This was just, it felt scummy and money hungry, which sucks again because the skin's really good. And now that we're done with all the honorable mentions, we can get into the top 10. Thank you, Yorick. And number 10 might surprise you, because my number 10 pick is an Ink Shadow skin. And that might weird you out because like, well, didn't you like Ink Shadow? Yeah, I did. I really like Ink Shadow, in fact. In fact, spoiler alert, one of the best skins will have an Ink Shadow skin on it. However, Ink Shadow Udyr is such a disappointment. Yes, because in-game, it looks like a chroma of base Udyr. It does not look different enough. And the idea, Udyr was a perfect pick for this skin line because of the tattoos. Like, of course, Ink Shadow's all about tattoos, but it just, they didn't visualize that at all. It still looks like normal Udyr. Like, it's the same thing. It's the long hair, the beard, no shirt, the tattoos on it, big belt, baggy pants. Exact same idea as base Udyr. The man, he has a man bun, true. I don't get why his hair's white and his beard's black either. That's weird. For me, it's not distinctive enough from base Udyr, especially considering we waited so long for an Udyr skin. So long. And comparing this to any of the other Udyr skins we got, like we have Dragonmancer and Definitely not. I think definitely not is far more interesting than this. To me, it's not a horrible skin. It was just really disappointing to wait so long for a new Udyr skin, and it just feels like you're redoing base Udyr slightly differently. And on for number 9. I want to see if most of you even remember this happened. Anyone remember this? This happened. When did this happen? Who is that? That is supposed to be kha'zix. Why did I don't get why they did this. People forget alongside Mythmaker for Lunar Revel, we also got new Lunar Guardians. I think it was kha'zix, Thresh, Malphite, Kiana, and Ashe. I think were all of them. How does it look in game? That's how it looks in game. The thing is, because you know this is supposed to look cool, and it just looks kind of goofy and dumb. Like, I think what they tried to do was to make kha'zix into a dragon, I think. Like, he's like an ocean dragon, but then he still has the bug wings and the scythe hands. Like, I think the closest kha'zix has ever gotten to escaping the insectoid idea that he's always in was Odyssey, where they at least try to get like, oh yeah, he's got little arm blades, but didn't translate very well in game. But this one is just not only forgettable, doesn't look like a dragon, visually is just so over detailed, it's kind of a mess, and too many colors. I think the colors are all over the place. It's just not good. Number 8 is one some people will like, admittedly. Like, it's cute, fair enough. People like cute skins. However, Cats vs. Dogs has the amazing potential to be cursed as Dog Yumi would have been so cursed. It would have been hilarious, but they just stuck her in a onesie and called it a day. Like, Shiba Yumi could have been so unbelievably cursed, and they just didn't do anything. They just put her in a dog onesie and like, hey, look, we put a cat in a dog onesie. Listen, that quirky, but come on, man. Look at Meowrick. Look at Fuzz Fizz. Corky. Like, this whole skin line is built around doing cursed. Look at Kled and Wolf and Lamb. Like, the skin line is designed to be cursed, and they didn't pull the trigger with Yumi. At least like Nidalee, I can kind of see it with Nidalee because at least like the Paka form looks all really. I tried to say weird and silly. It looks all silly and weird. Very quick thoughts on that one, because yeah, it just should have been cursed. On to number 7. This one, again, not terrible, but it feels like they tried to recapture the magic of an old skin and just didn't succeed. That's Astronaut Kennen. I think it's partially because Kennen's model is just so clunky and old, but it feels like they're trying to recapture Astronaut Teemo, and it just equates to a nothing skin. Yeah, it's a nothing. Like, why is he an astronaut? Like, at least they gave him the funny walk cycle, but that's something all the astronauts skins do. At least Fizz looks kind of goofy. Kennen, like, what is... I guess he's got the little meeps in his shuriken, but why? Not a lot for me to explain on this one. Like I said, it's just kind of a nothing skin. On to number 6, again, a skin line a lot of people like, but I think Street Demons were fun. They weren't amazing, but Street Demon Rengar, why? Why is he the Lunar Beast? And they're painters. Why are you painting with blades? How does that work? Like, you gave him a paintbrush tail, you're not gonna utilize that at all? At least like Mundo looks visually interesting and looks like it's a part of the Street Demon universe. You could slap this in and say this is the Lunar Beast actualized into a character. I would believe that. This doesn't feel like Street Demons. This feels like part of the Lunar Beast skin line. And that skin line isn't very good. He has a very large cat bell around his neck, which in game, this is tiny. You won't even see this in game at all. All right, well, moving on to number 5, we have another nothing skin. One that I feel like a lot of people forget happened, mostly because I think the skin release was very forgettable. All right, who here remembers that Immortal Journey Z happened? Anyone remember this? It's not that bad. The thing is, it isn't that bad, but it is painfully forgettable. You know what's weird is I think they're trying to mimic the thing they did with Debonair and they did with Supreme Cells, where he has these little streamers in game that mimic the sleeves, but they just feel like they're there for no reason. He's just a guy. He strapped some swords. Like, there's the blade hilt. Man's duct taped some swords to his bracers. It's just, and I guess the only upside it has is that it's like, oh, I guess Zed, but you can see his face. I guess that's like the only real thing of note for it. Other than that, it's another edgy Zed skin for the sake of having another edgy Zed skin. I think actually, yes, Supreme Cells shows his face, doesn't it? That's another edgy skin. Cosmic skins. Doesn't everybody love the cosmic skins? No. I know I do. Oh boy. And it's not Belveth. Like, Belveth is the same old. What did they do to Scion, man? Scion is what? They tried to do something different with like the cosmic paladins. I'll give them that. And like Nunu, I think works fine, even if it's weird that Nunu himself has no cosmic stuff going on with him at all. I mean, you're allowed to like it. I just think it's just kind of dumb. The thing is, why this is weird is because I get they're trying to do their own thing, but Scion has a furnace in his stomach. Replace that furnace with a black hole. Scion is one of the most obvious champions to make a Dark Star skin for in the entire game. His whole character is being destructive, large, and destroying everything in his path, and he has a furnace in his stomach you can replace with a black hole. It's right there. They don't incorporate his furnace at all. It's just another accessory like he has on his arm here. Like it's just another cosmic circle snow globe. I'm tired of cosmic, and I'm not gonna put, like, obviously the worst one here to put would be Dark Cosmic Erasure Jin. I don't count those mythic variants as skins, man. Those are glorified $200 chromas. No, those don't count. Those even get those don't even get put on the list because those are just terrible. Number 3, I know I mentioned that Udyr looked a lot like a chroma to me, but there's one skin that looks even more so like that, and that's Broken Covenant Xayah. In game, it is like impossible to recognize this as a unique skin. In the splash art, it looks completely unique, but in game, it's like almost indistinguishable from a glance. It looks like a chroma of the base skin, especially with the hood. Rakan doesn't look terrible. Like Rakan at least has like the stained glass wings. That's kind of cool. Like you have to, it's cool to have Xayah Rakan on opposite sides. That's neat. Like I like that idea. Compared to the other ones, like Misfortune, right? Misfortune, Cho'Gath, they're not comparable. On to number 2, the second worst skin in the entire game. This one, like Zed, sometimes you have to wonder why they put a champion in a skin line in the first place. But the thing is, Zed at least can kind of fit in that universe. You guys have already predicted it. Why? Dude, even Coven stands didn't like this one. What did you have to do to make the Coven stands not like a skin? Like, even there, they're like, no, this doesn't work. I don't know who this was made for. It just doesn't work. She doesn't fit the universe. Coven is all about high fashion witches, and Akali is just, you got some bird feathers on you, some bones, and you fight with hand-to-hand weapons. It's like Zed. It's a big ball of nothing. The thing is, wouldn't Akali have worked better as an Eclipse Knight? Like, I don't think it would have been amazing, but I think she would have worked a lot better fighting for that team rather than the Coven witches. Like, she doesn't feel like a witch. However, there's one skin I'm not a fan of even more than this. Primarily because, and I'll see if you guys can piece it together. So I'm a skin line that's tired and repetitive and run out of ideas. It could have been really awesome because of the prospect of finally having a champion in the same skin line as one they're related to, and the skin on a whole is completely and utterly redundant because they already have several skins that do the exact same thing but better, and some of you guys got it. I think the worst skin of the entire year is Nightbringer Nasus. The potential of finally getting a skin of Nasus and Renekton in the same skin line, and they put it in Night and Dawn, and it's just, Nasus already has several fire themed skins. This is just another one. It's so redundant. Infernal Nasus already shot any potential for any other fire-themed skins of Nasus out of the water. And I get they tried to do like the idea like, oh, Renekton's the good guy and Nasus is the bad guy. But the thing with Order and Chaos, none of them are the good guy anyway. Like, they're both bad guys. And Renekton's whole deal in Nightbringer is like, oh yeah, I'm going to create order by creating chaos. Like, well, you're on the Nightbringer team then anyway, so like, why'd you bother? It doesn't make any sense. But then if you swap them, Renekton too already has plenty of fire themed skins, so no matter what you did by putting them in this skin line, it was gonna be redundant. Nightbringer and Dawnbringer, I think we just need to stop. We've had enough, and it doesn't have the Snoop Dogg dance. Exactly, that's what I think. I'm sure there's probably some that I missed, some people think that are worse than this, but next time we're gonna get into missed potential skins, and that one is gonna be interesting because it's more about hypothetical skins that could have happened. So I'll see you on the next one.